Hey guys, my name is Peter English. I'm an artist, musician, and filmmaker based here in Philadelphia, and I want to talk to you about a cool project I did this year and a couple of things that I learned. So last year I was named the Artist in Residence at the Excite Center at Drexel University, which is a really cool place that looks at the intersection of art and technology. And this was something that was funded by the Knight Foundation, and they asked us to look into music, technology, and interactivity. And so along with my engineering partner Jeff, who's standing over there, we decided to look at magnets. Specifically, we wanted to look at electromagnets, which are magnets that only work when you put a current through them. And so we decided, we thought basically, could we use these to play the drums? Which we thought was a pretty far out idea. And so we hacked together some hardware, and we came up with this. Crank that bone. So that's real audio. Those are drums being played with magnets. Pretty crazy. So how does this work? We took a piece of steel foil and we glued it to a drum head, and when a magnet is over the top of it, it pulls on the foil and that vibrates the drum head. And the cool thing about using an electromagnet is that you can actually control the speed of that vibration. And what that means, if you know your physics, is that speed of vibration is frequency and frequency is sound. And so using magnets, we could turn any drum into a synthesizer, which is pretty unusual and pretty cool. And we were pretty psyched about this idea. And we thought, like, all right, well, how crazy can we get with this? And sometimes when you get a really big idea, you just have to get started, even if you have no idea what's going to happen. And so we decided to announce a big event where we would debut an array of 16 drums played with magnets, all wirelessly communicating with each other, which we would call DrumHenge. It's bold. It's a big deal. The thing is that we had made none of it when we announced. We just put it out there and said, guys, come, we got nothing. And the thing, and I love leap and the net will appear, but no one tells you how long you're going to fall. And part of this strategy is you have to learn the skill of being able to hang with that stress. And so I want to give you an example of that, which is that we thought, all right, let's give ourselves 30 days before the show to finish the instrument. I wanted to compose specifically for the instrument. We wanted to work out all the kinks. We wanted to do everything right. We thought 30 days should be pretty much enough. And so, of course, you probably know where this is going. This is 14 days before, and the drums are just showing up. And we haven't built any of the hardware. And we don't even know how screwed we are, because we now also realize we have a software problem, because I said all of these drums are wirelessly networked. Well, when you scale up from 4 drums to 16 drums, there were a ton of bugs in our programming language that we didn't know, and we only found when we got that deep into it. And so here we are. This is a week before, I think, coming up. None of this stuff really works. This is the first time this is 7 days before. This is the first time we got everything together, and it doesn't work. It freezes all the time. We're pretty much, this was not an acceptable place for us to be. And the really scary thing is that by around that point, we'd sold out the event. And I had a lighting designer, and I had musicians coming to learn the songs that I was supposed to have composed, which I hadn't done because there was no instrument. And so we were pretty much heading for disaster. And this was me all week, basically. Very stressed, not eating well. I was really in over my head. I felt like I was fucking it up. But I did one thing right. One thing, which is that I hired a really good team. And that's the big thing that I want to talk about is, as we were hurtling towards disaster, I realized that this thing was going to come together at the last minute. And I needed people who were talented, but I also need people who could think on their feet. And that was the key thing that I needed from them. And so, I brought in great people, and they were my net. The team is your net. And, basically hire wisely and then put your faith in them. Put your faith in them, believe in them, and they're going to bail you out of some crazy situations. And, come find me after. I'll tell you more about how it went. But we pulled it off, which is, honestly, I still don't quite understand how I did it, but it's really about everyone else who came in. And the only thing that I did was that I convinced them to jump. And this is a little clip from what we did. Cool. Go to drumhenge.com if you want to learn more. We're going to release more videos later on this month. I'm Peter English. Thank you very much.